It must be Halloween because I see an Omen dressed like a Victus. New silver suit, throwback logo, and some internal tweaks. But is this a glow up or a glow down? Launched in 2025, this sleek machine is hiding a few surprises, and today we're going deep. Design quirks, performance numbers, thermal tests, and a head-to-head with the Victus. Let's find out if this Omen still casts a shadow or just borrows one. Design-wise, the HP Omen looks almost identical to the Victus, just with a few key changes. Instead of the usual blue or black finish, it comes in a sleek silver chassis, giving it a more premium vibe. You'll also spot the classic diamond-shaped Omen logo on the top lid, bringing back a bit of the older Omen identity. It's slightly larger in dimensions than the Victus, but layout, port placements, and overall structure remain the same. So if you have seen a Victus recently, picture that, but with a silver shell and a splash of retro Omen branding. The HP Omen has a polycarbonate build which feels decent in hand. There's a slight flex on the keyboard deck and some on the top lid, but nothing too concerning. Screen wobble is minimal, but the display can't be opened with one hand, hinting at not so ideal weight distribution. Interestingly, that's a downgrade from the Victus, which uses the same chassis but opens more easily. The hinge allows the display to tilt back to about 130 degrees, which might feel a bit limited for some users. You get a full-sized keyboard with good key travel. Typing feels comfortable and has a mushy feel to it. The key travel is wide enough to prevent accidental presses. Lighting-wise, it comes with a single zone RGB. The effects do exist. They can be customized in the Omen Gaming Hub, but only under the Studio Lighting tab, not the General tab. So yes, the RGB changes. Please don't start a war in the comments. The touchpad is fully clickable, supports multi-gesture input, and feels quite smooth to use. Cooling wise, there's a large air intake vent on the bottom and a big exhaust at the back, just like the Victus. But Omen adds more here. An extra exhaust on the left side, a small but welcome difference. The display features narrow side bezels, giving it a modern and clean look. However, there's a thick bottom chin due to a 16:9 aspect ratio. Despite that, the laptop still manages to feel sleek and well designed overall. HP Omen offers a solid range of ports. On the right side, it features one USB Type-C 3.2 Gen 1 port with power delivery up to 65 watts, 4K 60Hz display output, and always-on charging. Two USB Type-A 3.2 Gen 1 ports, one HDMI 2.1 port supporting up to 8K 60Hz output, and one power connector. On the right side, you get one RJ45 Ethernet port, one USB Type-A 3.2 Gen 1 port that has always-on function, and one audio mic combo jack. In total, it has 3 USB Type-A ports, a sweet spot for gamers, and one USB Type-C port for modern peripherals. Port selection is solid but not perfect. At this price point, you might expect a second USB Type-C, Thunderbolt 4 support, or even rear-facing ports for better cable management. It has a good screen with 16.1-inch IPS Full HD panel with a native resolution of 1920 by 1080p and an aspect ratio of 16:9. It has a great color gamut of 100% sRGB, a contrast ratio of 1000:1 and 300 nits brightness, making it suitable for creative professionals who require a color accurate screen. It has a 165Hz refresh rate, 7 millisecond response time, and support for G-Sync, making it a good choice for esports. Compared to the Victus series, this Omen clearly steps ahead. Victus displays rarely features both 100% sRGB and 165Hz panel in one package, giving Omen the upper hand in both color accuracy and fluid performance. HP Omen includes a mux switch, allowing direct GPU access, but without an advanced Optimus, so it requires a restart for changes to take effect. Audio is handled by dual 2-watt speakers, delivering loud and clear sounds for everyday use. Powering the system is an 83 Wh battery, offering about 4 to 6 hours on regular tasks and 1 to 1.5 hours during gaming with power saving settings. It comes with a 230-watt charger that juices up the laptop to 50% in just 40 minutes. For connectivity, you get Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3, ensuring smooth wireless performance. And rounding it out, a 1080p webcam with a built-in privacy shutter for extra peace of mind. Inside, the HP Omen is powered by the Intel Core i7-14650HX, featuring 16 cores and 24 threads with 8 performance cores and 8 efficient cores. Graphics are handled by RTX 4060 with 8GB GDDR6 VRAM, pushing up to 120 watt. That's slightly lower than the original Omen, but in line with what you'll find on the Victus. It comes with 16GB of DDR5 RAM clocked at 56 5600 MHz in dual channel configuration for faster multitasking. For storage, you get 1 TB Gen 4 NVMe SSD offering blazing fast read and write speeds and quick load times across the board. In synthetic benchmarks, the HP Omen consistently edges out the Victus 16, though the gap is minimal. Cinebench R23 scores are nearly identical, 1922 versus 1890 in single core and 23,840 versus the 23,700 in multicore. Geekbench 6 reflects similar results, 2,622 versus 2,580 in single core and 15,279 versus 15,100 in multicore. 3D Mark TimeSpy scores show the Omen slightly ahead, 9,750 GPU, 13,200 CPU and 10,000 overall versus the 9,500, 12,980 and 9,800 on the Victus. Now both laptops use the same 120 watt RTX 4060, so the performance differences come down to thermal designs and sustained clocks. The Omen runs 2 to 3 degrees cooler on average during heavy gaming, which helps avoid thermal throttling. Victus delivers 90 to 95% of Omen's performance but runs hotter and loses a few FPS in longer gaming sessions. That extra side vent does have its benefits. Bottom line, go with Omen if you want better thermal headroom and slightly more consistent performance, else go with Victus if you want to save money as the difference is marginal. So I compared the real world game tests by running a few common titles with 1080p resolution, max settings used, ray tracing was enabled, DLSS was set to performance, frame generation was turned on, room temperature was about 25 degrees Celsius and no cooling pad was used. Across all tested titles, the Omen maintains a consistent 2 to 5 FPS lead over the Victus at both high and ultra presets. For example, in Cyberpunk, it hits about 70 FPS on high versus about 68 FPS on the Victus, and 55 FPS at ultra versus 52 on ultra on Victus. This trend holds steady across GTA 5, RDR2 and Hogwarts Legacy. The Omen's thermal system clearly pays off. CPU temps are 2 to 3 degrees lower on average. The CPU temps and GPU temps stay better controlled during extended play. Victus, while very close in performance, shows signs of thermal strain in heavier games like Hogwarts Legacy and Spider-Man 2, with CPU temps nearing 96 degrees and minor frame dips under load. Overall, both delivering strong 1080p experiences, but Omen edges out in thermal efficiency and clock stability, key for sustained performance. This HP Omen is built for more than just casual use. Its spec sheet makes it a solid all-rounder. It can comfortably handle 1080p gaming at max settings with ray tracing, making it a great pick for hardcore gamers who want both visuals and performance. With its 165Hz refresh rate and G-Sync support, it's also well suited for competitive esport titles, delivering smoother motion and lower latency. Streaming and content creation, no problem. The RTX 4060 paired with 16GB dual channel DDR5 RAM ensures stable performance even while running OBS, editing and gaming all at once. For coding and software development, the multi-core i7 processor offers great compile speeds and parallel processes for IDEs, emulators and virtual machines. 4K level editing is totally within scope too, thanks to its high-performance NVMe SSD, GPU acceleration and large RAM buffer, great for Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve and After Effects. Photo editors and creative professionals will appreciate the 100% sRGB display, ensuring true-to-life color accuracy in Photoshop, Lightroom or Illustrator. And for heavier tasks like 3D modeling, CAD and AI workloads, the RTX 4060's CUDA cores and 120W TGP provides the grunt needed for tools like Blender, AutoCAD or even running local LLMs, just like on Nut Studio. You're basically looking at a well-balanced performance machine, ideal for gamers, creators, developers, and power users alike. The Omen has 2 RAM slots, each supporting up to 16GB of DDR5 RAM at 5600 MHz, giving you a total of 32GB in dual channel. Storage includes 2 M.2 NVMe Gen 4 slots, both upgradable, but if you use only one slot, you can install a single 1TB Gen 4 NVMe with full performance. But if you decide to use both slots, HP officially only supports 512GB of Gen 4 drives, likely for better thermal balance and power distribution. But I have my doubts. So if any one of you have tested it out with 2 1TB NVMEs on this machine, leave a comment on its performance. I'll make sure to pin it. As of recording, this laptop is priced at 1,30,000 and currently it's not available online and is exclusive to HP brand stores. This unit was provided by Premier Laptops exclusive HP Playground store located in Kocha Market, Ludhiana. Big thanks to the team for lending me the laptop for this review. If you're interested in checking it out or buying it locally, their contact details are in the description. Talking about the competition, this laptop has a few. HP Omen's own last gen model with same specs but slightly cheaper, same 144Hz refresh rate and 300 nits brightness and 100% sRGB screen, but it has DDR5 RAM that runs at 4800 MHz versus the 5600 in this model. Next is Lenovo Lock, best in value but has a lower 144Hz screen, has 100% sRGB, has DDR5 RAM at 5600 MHz, has a G-Sync, a MUX switch, but has slightly lower TDP of about 115 watts, and thermals are not as refined as Omen. Next is MSI Crosshair, a 165Hz QHD panel with 100% DCI-P3 screen, best display in this list, but DDR5 RAM at 4800 MHz, a heavier chassis and a slightly older CPU. And last, it has MSI Sword, a budget-friendly option but has 144Hz refresh rate with a full HD screen. And the color gamut is not so great with only 45% NTSC and DDR4 RAM, not DDR5, a lower TDP of only 85 watts, so not ideal for content creators and gamers. So here's the real kicker. This HP's newer gen Omen with the same chassis as the Victus actually performs better, runs cooler and costs less. Yeah, you heard right. It shares nearly identical design cues with the Victus, same shell, same port layout, but throws in better thermals and tighter build tolerances. While the Victus might look similar on outside, the Omen pulls ahead when it actually counts. Add to that the fact that this previous gen Omen picks the same i7 and RTX 4060 with a be it 144Hz refresh rate but 100% sRGB panel, and it becomes a serious value contender for 10,000 to 12,000 less. Sure, you trade 5600 MHz for 4800 MHz, but in real world usage that's barely noticeable. So if you're eyeing on the new Omen or even considering the Victus, it might just be worth grabbing the Omen that looks like a Victus but bites like a beast. If you liked the review, please like the video, dislike if you didn't, tell me about it in the comment section, and consider subscribing for more videos like this.